Good afternoon, everyone. The idea to host this panel about circular approach for maker movement was basically try to understand how can you bring a discussion that's really important for this bubble of maker movement that's growing and growing around the world, and sometimes is really worried about how can you make new products and how can you disrupt some industries, how can you make this for revolution, industrial revolution and everything. And sometimes we forgot to think about, but which kind of system are we building with these new tools, which kind of systems we can make with all these powerful tools that we have in our hands nowadays. And this circular economy as a concept that is becoming also more popular and is trying to bring a concept that people should look to materials in a way that products should be designed to be designed again, in a way that everything could be circle, and we should use things more connected to the environment and be more friendly and not produce a lot of waste. So we at Olabi Makerspace in Rio been working with this kind of concept and with this kind of idea for almost 1 year and a half now. And there are more people around the world working on this. We are just some of them, but this community is growing and growing. And our idea was just to show a few examples about how can you use this kind of concept in the day by day in our innovation hubs in our space to try to stimulate this kind of discussion, and also not just the discussion, but also some actions and some projects and some products that can be useful to trying to make another system and not use these new, all wonderful new tools like 3D printers, robotics, electronic components, and everything that we are really proud to have in our hands nowadays, and try to use this to really make a movement to change the system and not do the same thing and end up with the same concentration of power in a few hands and everything. So this is why we started this discussion. And we could start with actually Sénamé, and then we can put it later. We can start with Sénamé. We are going to talk 5 minutes each really quickly because it's just a short panel, just to introduce the subject, and then we can be more than open to follow the discussions later outside and give her our contacts and whatever we can do with this. And after Mattia can talk for more 5 minutes, and then I can finish showing our project in a few minutes. And we can open for a few questions. We don't have much time, but at least we can try to reply and answer some stuff, and then we can discuss outside more. So, Sénamé from Togo. Oh, maybe it's not working.
Hello. Okay. Thank you. Thank Geek for this new invitation. I will talk to you very briefly about what we are doing in Lomé, Togo. So we have a tech hub there, but it is a sort of urban vision who give birth to this tech hub. The idea is this: tomorrow the city will be built by the entrepreneurs. It is Airbnb who decided how you live. It is Uber who decide how you move in the city, and tomorrow it is startup who will decide more than politicians, planners, etc. So the idea to think about the city of tomorrow is to create a space who launch new type of entrepreneur who could be able to transform the city. So we have decided to launch this urban project called Up City. And the idea in Lomé is to create a network of spaces, like Fab Lab, co-working space, and each space have to launch business who will transform the city. So we create the first of this new generation of space, which is WellLab. And in WellLab, we have about 11 startups created there. And I would like to show you some video about these startups.
Oh.
Yeah. So WellLab is supposed to transform 1 kilometer around him. So it is supposed to be the the energy central for the 1 kilometer around, to be the granary for food for 30 kilometers around, to be the space who address the waste issue for 1 kilometer around. So we have one startup, by example, who work on this e-waste problem. So we transform e-waste in new machine. We transform old machine in new machine. And the idea is to collect all the e-waste in 1 kilometer around, build new machine with, and maybe sell it or send it back to you, because all this waste come from the waste. So this startup is WebOts, and the first project we developed is the WAFAT, which is the first 3D printer made in Africa and entirely made with e-waste. We have another startup who work on this plastic issues. It is SCOP. So the idea behind SCOP is to collect all the plastic 1 kilometer around and stock it in the lab and transform it in new product like accessories, clothes, etc., etc. So that's quickly what I would like to talk about. And if you have some question about this, I could ask.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon. Thanks to Cam, and thanks Gabi to invite me last minute here to show a project that I've been working on for the past year, and I think that we can all get something out of it. The project is called Precious Plastic, and we launched roughly, I'd say, a month ago. And what we're aiming to do is to boost plastic recycling. So how to do this? We thought that the best way to boost plastic recycling is to empower people with tools to recycle plastic. So to do this, we've developed a series of machines that allows technically anyone in the world to recycle plastic. And we basically put it all online for free, and anyone can access it and can build the machine in a matter of days, and with a couple of $100, I would say. And I think a video will do much better than I can do to explain the whole process. Sound.
30 ans lui aussi, et développeur
It's
d'une
used
machine
everywhere,
extraordinaire.
but it also ends up everywhere.
Cette machine
This bottle
s'appelle
is made
la
from
WAFAT.
plastic.
C'est
Actually,
une
a lot of
imprimante
things we
3D
have
made in Africa, fabriquée essentiellement à
It's used
partir des
everywhere,
déchets
but
informatiques.
it also ends up everywhere.
Une imprimante
That's a
3D.
sign that we need to collaborate.
Yeah, what? I don't know how can I do with the sound.
Nous imprimons avec du
We could
PLH,
also
un type
turn
de
this
I think there's a
waste
video on
into
YouTube.
Et
something.
maintenant, comment se passe l'impression? C'est juste un dépôt,
Yeah, but
couche par
I'm not
couche.
finding
Là,
it.
vous voyez
Yeah, but I'm just like trying to find it. Sorry.
le fil qui est introduit dans ce dispositif
Ah,
qui
yeah, it's
s'appelle...
here. Yeah, I found it. Sorry, everyone. Let's do it again.
This bottle is made from plastic. Actually, a lot of things we have are made from plastic. It's used everywhere, but it also ends up everywhere, damaging our planet. Which is weird. It's a precious material laying around everywhere, for free. We could also turn this waste into something new. Unfortunately, we haven't got the machines to do this ourselves. They're only for the big boys. So we develop machines that enable everyone to work with plastic and start their own little factory. Waste is shredded in small flakes, which will be used to create something new. You can work freely with your hands, or make your own molds to set up a small production. It's like being a craftsman in plastic. Love the space you recycle colors, or keep it plain simple. You can create little containers and pots, make your own functional tools, or use them to create new raw material. Now you can turn plastic waste into something valuable. We love to see plastic getting recycled all over the world, so we share the blueprints of these machines online. But also step-by-step instruction videos, lessons about plastic, tips and tricks, and useful templates. A complete package with everything you need to get started, ready to download. The machines are specifically designed using only basic tools and low-cost materials that are available in every corner of the world. And they are developed modular, in different parts. In this way, you can always upgrade, repair and customize them, or even adapt them to your environment. Wherever you live, you should be able to build them yourself, or find a local handyman to help out. These machines allow everyone to create new things from plastic, set up a production, start a business and clean up the neighborhood. With this project, we want to try and boost plastic recycling by providing people the tools to get started. So this is all the basic information people need to start their own little recycle business anywhere in the world. And they can all download it for free. But in order for this to have an impact, we need to make sure that people actually know it's now possible and that they can just download and start.
Yeah, as I said, the video can do much better than I can to explain what the whole project is about. But yeah, so since we launched, we had a huge attention globally, and I think that tells us that we have a huge global issue with plastic waste, and so far we haven't been given many solutions to this. We have some solution to collect the plastic, but we haven't really come up with solutions that could tackle the issue of recycling this plastic and turning it into new objects that could be used in many different fields. So I would say I would open it to questions later, and if you have any questions in regards to how it works or how to access information. So I was responsible for the website and the identity, so don't ask me too much engineering-based questions, as I might not be able to respond to them. But I'm also the living proof that this machine can be built by anyone, because last week, in 3.5 days, me and a friend, we built the injection machine, which is just exhibited there. And I have got no understanding of engineering whatsoever, so if I could build it, anyone here could too as well.
The machine is on the makerspace, the gig makerspace, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's next to the Fab Lab area.
Yeah, so if you want to check it, it's just over there in the gig area outside where there are some hands-on workshops. It's just like gig makerspace you can find around the Republica, and there is one piece of precious plastic over there showing the people how does it work.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So I will show a little bit some projects that we have at Olabi. Now I have to find it. It's here. I don't know. This German is not going to be easy, but it's okay. We can leave it this way. So, as I told you before, we start to work with some events and some actions connected to this reuse, repair, and recycling movement. So we basically did a manifest and start to try to spread around our community and the makers around the makerspace. How could they use this mindset to try to build new products? And we'll host different kinds of workshops, like this one where people build some furniture with like wood, piece of wood that you can find on the street. Some workshops just like do-it-yourself crafts to build a new jacket with the one that you are not using anymore, or things that you are like just like repairing and you can build something new and not just like throw away the things that you already have. Some workshops to repair guitars, electronic components, or whatever you have. We host different things on this way. We built something like really simple system that you can like take water from the rain and then collect it and use it again. So it's just like some simple, and in Brazil we are facing a really big problem of water, to have waters in our spaces, in our homes. So it was like really important at that moment to try to spread this kind of content that everyone can do something, to have like at least something to do. And we also did a program called Gambiarra Favela Tech, which started like 7 months ago, and we are still working on this. We did 2 editions already, and we are planning more around the country. And basically what we did was like try to use this Gambiarra concept, which is a really Brazilian thing. Gambiarra is basically a word that we have, that I didn't even translate, because it's a kind of local slang, that we have to just do simple fixing things with simple materials and things that you have in your home. That's really popular around the country. A lot of people are doing stuff just because basically it's the way that you can repair your TV, your conditioner, or whatever you want to do. And we are trying to work on the concept that this Gambiarra mindset that use the materials that you have to fix things and to build something with creativity is a really, really powerful mindset that you could transform a lot of things. It's not just for simple repairs. So what we did was a kind of 10 days artistic residence when we are trying to kind of transform people in gambiologista, which means the one who made gambiarras, was just like working in a concept. And we say that the gambiologista was the one who are waste collectors and who are like using all the materials we have in our days to give new meanings to the materials and invent the new machines that can be useful, or sometimes just play with the words, or sometimes just express themselves. So we are not exactly, oh, sorry. So we are not exactly, I don't know what I did, but I will try here. So we are not exactly working in a way that try to give skills to people, build new projects to solve problems in a more technical way, even if sometimes it ends up working on this way, but we are much more trying to bring the concept and give space for people to think in a different way and be able to have a different mindset to express themselves in their new way to do things. So basically, we are much more focused on culture and arts on this program than in technology, in a way like thinking about products. And it was really, really great to see that basically people for 10 days just went to different kinds of places where you can find e-waste, and then you can build a lot of installations. And after a while, people was just saying, oh, that's so great, because I've been doing that for quite a long time, and now I found out that's important, that's great, and that can be a maker thing, not just something that I do because I don't have other resource. So this is why we are trying to pushing and show that we can use local culture, we can use all this creativity that we have already in our local contests to promote a different way to look to the world and to make better impact. And this idea to focus on our culture make us have connections around the world with people who are interested in the same approach, because sometimes this maker culture approach is not that focused in local cultures. They're just like trying to give the same answers for everyone, and sometimes like the context is different. And then we end up in January of this year in New Zealand helping some local NGOs with the government to build a project that was basically with the same concept, try to potentialize and stimulate the crafties and all the do-it-yourself work which they already had in their communities to make some social change and make better impact around it. And then we designed together with them in Mesicadeira, which is a global innovation consultancy, which was an amazing process. They was leading this process. And we designed this project with them, call it Makerhood, which was basically trying to bring this concept of repair for the people on the streets around South Auckland, which was like the most vulnerable area in the city of Auckland in New Zealand. So it was just like few examples that things that's already working around the world. There are much more that we could talk about, but maybe it's better to open for people if people want to have some questions and talk about it. We still have 10 minutes for this, so Do you have a microphone? Okay.
Hi, thank you. My name is Stephen Covitz from the Agency for Open Culture, and I know some of you guys, and it's great to see you here again, and thank you so much for this really amazing food for thought. I have less of a question as I want to just give a little bit of feedback to you. You were mentioning, for example, the open source circular economy thing. Are you part of the Open Source Circular Economy Days event? Are you familiar with that? Are there people here who are participating in that? So I'm just wondering about that. So that's an event that takes place in Berlin, but a number of cities around the world, focused specifically on these issues that you take up. So if your cities are not part of that event, which will be in June, I think 9 to 13, it would be cool to have you in that global network. The other thing which I just want to mention is that in this section of culture, we are always using the word open. And in fact, what you were talking about is, in terms of the urban scenario, is really a closed system. We try actually not to bring extra resources in. So there are times when to use the word closed is actually quite good. The whole notion of the circular economy in that urban sense in terms of resources is to keep the system as closed as possible in order to reuse and upcycle and repurpose materials and resources, especially resources, because one of the problems of urbanism is the waste of resources. So just the notion that it is okay to use clothes sometimes as well. So that's all I wanted to mention. And if you are part of open source circular economies, it would be cool.
Yeah, I think Lars from the open source, I don't know.
It's up there.
Yeah. He's over there. He was here before. I don't know. Yeah, he's over there. Yes, he's just over there. He's the one of the behind of this open source. We couldn't be part last year because we didn't have time. We found out like just a few days before. And at this year we are trying, and definitely we need to be more connected globally. Sometimes it's really difficult, to implement things and to do all this work that we have to do locally, and at the same time try to connect it with the initiatives globally. So it's definitely such like a great point to bring, and something that I think everyone should improve on this way. That is like the big conversation around gig. How can we improve more this collaboration? So yeah, it's great to remind. Definitely we should be more involved.
Yeah, I'm called Emmanuel Bismo from J-Hub in South Sudan, Juba. Yeah, we also do kind of the same things, like focus most on open source and recycling. So finding the resources, for doing for the recycling and stuff like that seems to be very hard. I don't know how people get yours.
Yeah, adding to your previous question, with precious plastic, we're going to be at the OSCE Days in June, and we're planning a couple of workshops with Simon. And we are planning to actually build a machine this time there. So we're going to gather all the parts together beforehand, and then we're going to get a small group of people to actually build the machine in the time of the festival. So just to show how easy it is to make this machine and get started. So anyone that is interested to know more about the precious plastic machine should join 7th, 8th of June, something like that. Yeah. Any more question?
Question was where we find the resources?
Yeah.
Your question is where we find the resources? Yes, for the e-waste, by example, we have now in West Africa a lot of e-waste dumps. The US send his e-waste to China, and the Europe send his e-waste to Africa. So e-waste is now quite a local material. You can find it easily.
Okay,
Yeah, in Brazil it's the same. It's like we can find pretty easily. There are a lot of space that you can just go and find it. And if you start to look for this, you'll be really impressive how easy it is, you know, and how big they are and how many things are inside, and sometimes really useful things. And also sometimes we work with things that we just find on the streets, like just wasted on the streets. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not meaning the waste, but I'm meaning like the materials for building the machines.
Well, Dave has been going a series of times to Africa, Ghana specifically, to sort of check the waste materials in there and what's available in there, in the location, so that the machine can be built everywhere in the world or in Africa. For this, we would love to partner with Sénamé, because, yeah, he knows way better than what we can kind of imagine from here. However, most of the parts needed to build the machines are available globally. There's some issues with countries that don't have access to eBay, or eBay doesn't ship there, but otherwise it's just metal that you can find anywhere, technically, and bolts. And it's based on, all the machines are based on the plumbing system, which is available anywhere in the world, and it's the same across the planet. And on top of this, all the machines are also modular. So if you can't find a specific bit or part of the machine, you can hack it. So you can build it according to your needs or your conditions or what you have available around you. So I think that the potential of this machine is that, you know, we build a version and we tell you how to build them, but then it's up to you to adapt them to your own needs. And yeah, whatever is around you, basically. And yeah, I would say just get started, and then, you know, as you go along and you find issue, you will be able to to adapt them and to resolve them. They're pretty accessible to anyone, I would say. Even though I haven't built them in Africa, but I'm planning to come over.
Okay, so she told me already that we don't have more time. So we will be here, we will be around for the next hours. Okay, one more. Can I do it? Can I do it?
Hi, my name is Stephanie. Nice to meet you, and thank you for your speaks, for your talks. I'm also interested in the topic of e-waste, particularly informal processing in the developing world. I'm curious if, in the development of the plastic recycling machine and in your maker projects, if there are groups working on machines that can do similar e-waste processing, so like lead smelting in a safe way, e-waste disassembly in a safe way, and if that's something that's even needed, or if it's just too unsafe, or if there are already people doing that sort of work.
I am personally not aware of anyone doing anything in regards to metal.
Yeah,
She's asking if you know of any projects that do similar things as we do with plastic, but with
other things.
With metals,
I'm not reminding now, but there are a lot of information around the internet. If you go to Lars' event and all these communities around, there are a lot of ideas coming, but precious plastics become really popular on the internet the time that they launched the video, because I think a lot of people was impressive about the final product, because a lot of people are trying to do things, and I've been part of a lot of forums and communities that are trying to build stuff and prototyping, but they did something that is like the final product, and I don't have any reference on this way that is that well designed until the end of the process yet, but I'm sure that in a few years and month after month we will find more and more solutions like that, hopefully. So, yeah, so do you want to finish it? Okay, so yeah, it's time to finish it. So if you need to have more questions, or if you want other contacts or talk more with one of us, we'll be around. So it was great to bring this discussion here. And thank you, Geraldine, and all the gig community.
Thank you, three.